Hi, I'm Willie Mayette from PianoWithWillie.com. Welcome to this lesson on practical diminished harmony. Now, I call it practical diminished harmony because we're going to go through four different real practical ways in which you can use your diminished chords and diminished scales. A lot of times we learn these techniques and it's kind of like, okay, yeah, learn your diminished chords, and it's like, well, how do I actually use them? That's what this lesson is going to address, how you can practically start to bring these techniques into your playing right away. Let me just go through the four real briefly. I'm going to obviously explain it in much more detail along with sheet music and MIDI files and whatnot in the lesson. But some of the first technique is how you could take a diminished chord and you can reharmonize it with a minor 2/5. So rather than going, let's say, C, right, to well, okay, let's say it's going to go from C to C sharp diminished to D minor. Rather than going to C sharp diminished, you can make that C sharp diminished chord an E minor 7 flat 5 to A7, then to D minor. And like I said, I'm going to explain that much more within the lesson. That's the first thing. The second thing you can do is start to harmonize lines using your diminished chords, and this is your diminished approach. I have an example here. I just used a little snippet from It Could Happen to You. So you see how you can get that real nice sound, real nice rich sound. Oops, sorry. Okay, we're utilizing those diminished chords and also our drop 2 voicings. I'll explain that as well. Third thing is using that half-whole diminished scale. Talk about how it's different from the altered scale and the dominant 7th scale, right? And then go through all of your fingering as well. But then also how to create these. Sorry. How to create these patterns, these symmetrical patterns, using this symmetrical scale. Finally, we have how we can do some basic harmonization. So here I have C major to A minor to D minor, but then listen to what I can do by starting to slip in those diminished chords. Right? Get a real cool sound. I'm also going to show you how you can transform those diminished chords into slash chords. So then you have. We're also going to talk a little bit about how you can get some of that kind of a gospel sound. And we can also do this as well. Talking about that sound as well, using the 7 diminished chord with that 1 chord with the root pedaled in the left hand. Okay, so a lot of cool diminished sounds. If you're not familiar with your diminished chords, I have some other lessons on diminished harmony. Might be a good idea to start with those before starting with this lesson. Okay, but if you really want to up your game with some of these diminished chords, this would be a great lesson for you to take a look at. So, hope you join me in the lesson. I'll see you in the first chapter.